Maria Lourdes Still, and I'm the founder of Masagana Flower Farm and Studio. It is a seasonal, small-scale flower farm in Southeast Manitoba and a dye studio. So I grow flowers without synthetics, fertilizers in garden beds where our lawns previously existed. Yeah, and aside from growing seasonal blooms, I grow dye plants and flowers that I use for small-scale, naturally dyed textile goods. Manitoba is such a short growing season, and for the space that I'm growing in, I really want to maximize the space that I have. So it really works well if the plant and flowers that I'm growing have more than one purpose. So I actually have this like trifecta whenever I'm deciding what are the flowers or plants that I'm going to be growing this year. So there should be good as fresh cut and also as dried flower, or fresh cut and good as a natural dye. These are called Black Knight Scabiosa or pincushion. And this one is dual purpose for me. I use them, they're really great, just a pop of color in a bridal bouquet, in a flower arrangement, but also they are really great dye flower. My papa was actually working out of town, and the place where he stayed for the longest time, it is called Davao. It's in the southern part of the Philippines, and they are known for orchid breeding. And Papa would come home and then bring my mom new orchid breed, really, and then Mama propagated that. I moved to Canada in spring of 2009, so I've been here for like 12 years. And I immigrated from the Philippines. Before I got really interested in locally grown flowers, I embraced the slow food movement. It was just amazing that during the summer, you know, all the farmers market we have in Winnipeg or all over in Manitoba, you know how vibrant that community is. And then I guess just like one day I said like, how about flowers? How about like if there is like slow food movement, is there like slow flower movement? And apparently actually there is. So after learning about flower farms in Manitoba, I did learn about Floret Farm in Skagit Valley in the States. And what they do actually is they do training for small-scale flower farmer. So I thought, oh, this is a thing. Like you don't need to have like acres and acres of land to grow flowers. So last year, I was experimenting on this botanical dyeing, and then the people's reaction and reception of it was like really encouraging, because I think everybody is just as surprised and in awe as I was. So I thought, this is something that I can do at the farm the following year. So find your spot, because this is where we're going to be creating. So these are some of the stuff that I've done in the past. So the blue ones are indigo dyed. But I thought I could offer something else if I engage people with natural dyeing. So I created Tinta Experience. It's a dye your own wearable art experience where people have a 3-hour engagement at the farm, and we tour the garden and they learn about the plants and flowers that I use for natural dyeing, and then they get to experience to pick their own flowers that they bring back and use for the natural dyeing part of the experience. Goosebumps whenever I explain this. It's just such magic. I pick the flowers, put it in a mason jar, put water in it, just like from the hose, and then I put the silk scarf in, and then I just like left it in my picnic table for I think 3 days. I tried to steer them. I don't know how many of us really think about like where our favorite colors come from. I didn't think so much about marigold before until I learned that it is a good dye source. And now I want to grow all the marigolds that I can. Right now, my experience with marigold, Cosmos sulphurus, coreopsis, and black night scabiosa, and hollyhocks right now. First time growing hollyhocks. So those 5 flowers is what I'm focusing on right now. But I feel like that I'm only scratching the surface. I know that there is so much more dye plants that I can add to the garden like next year. And then I'm gonna start rolling, and then I'll let you catch up.
It looks pretty at all the stages of the way.
I do have some marking on the corner, so just remember, you'll remember where you put it. For pigment extraction, Persicaria tinctoria or Japanese indigo is the variety that I grow. It's my second year growing them. I have like a couple of like rows right now in the garden. I do harvest the stems and the leaves off it. And this vat is called like workhorse vat. So you can see you've got that indigo flower, and it's like that coppery finish, which actually this vat is beautiful. This involved a lot of chemistry, which the indigo, one of the main difference of the pigment that we use from the flowers and then this one, the indigo, it's called the indigo tin. It's not water soluble. So for that dye to be able like to use in dyeing to be absorbed by the fabric, you have to make it water soluble. Put here. This one kind of like concentric circle. So so it was just made with rubber band or elastic. So you pick it from the middle. You just want to make sure that's... Sure. So this is yours. Yeah.
Do I just brush off? Oh, yeah.
It's okay, you can just have it on it's easier for me to clean up just on the table. I wanna continue doing what I'm doing this year, which is the natural dyeing aspect of flower growing. That integration of like growing flowers and natural dyeing.
That's one way to do it.
You're white. I give off that yellow green color. Yeah. And I'm curious. Right before your eyes.
That's weird.
like the vat, it's on a reduced state. We took out as much oxygen as we can to make it like ready to die.
And you have to do this part right away, like quick.
Well, not really. No.
Okay, I feel like
Yeah, but you just. So you can see it is changing right before your eyes.
Wow, yours is so nice.
I thought when I was like thinking of a name for the farm, well, I wanted it to reflect my heritage. So it is a Tagalog word. And also, I think at that time, it was in 2018, it was like a mindset for me too. That I have abundance around me, even though I can't name, I think even now, I can't name all the plants that is growing in our back 40, but there is such an abundance just like waiting for me to like discover, you know. So yeah, so that's what Masagana means.